And what you see here is a frame of empty post-it notes. And what we'd like to think about now is command words that the question writers use in SQA exams.
So you can forget about the different skills and the mark allocation and just think about the command words that are used to ask candidates to demonstrate their skills.
Yeah, so in a moment, what we're going to ask you all to do is navigate your way to frame 4 of topic 1, which is immediately below the introductory boards with the tutor photos. And a lot of you have already found it, so that's great.
So when you get to the frame, you just find an empty post-it note and you should be able to type a command word that's commonly used in a computing science exam. So as we said earlier, the font size will automatically adjust. You don't need to use a separate post-it note for every word. You can just keep typing, and there's a stack of sticky notes available if you need any more. You can drag them and just drop them onto the Miro board.
Yeah, okay, so go ahead. A lot of you have already started, seeing lots of really common words there. We'll just give you a couple of minutes to do that.
Is this the wee bit where we chat amongst ourselves?
It is, yeah, Colin. You and I are chatting.
I always feel that there should be
Lots
like
of
lift music that goes just in the background.
Yeah, well, you can sing.
I'll camera on as well. You're brave.
You almost sound as if
Yeah.
presenting.
There's lots of
You
words
do not
there
want
that
to
I
hear me
recognise. Yeah, lots of words I recognise there. Okay, well, I'll keep it on. Right, thanks for all those contributions. And it's good to see you're managing to find your way around the Miro boards. That's a positive. We've got much more coming for you soon, so look out for it. What we can see in the post-its is lots of agreement about common command words because many of us are experienced computing teachers, so there's lots of words we know that are going to be there. It might be interesting for you to have a look at what the tutor team agreed were the 8 most common command words. Yeah, and just if you haven't already parked your cursor, maybe if you can do that just now. So what are command words? Command words are in fact instructions that SQA writers use to tell candidates what's expected of them. And this is a bit quirky. Although the exam is called a question paper, in fact, it doesn't actually have any questions in it. For example, question writers can't ask a question like, what is a missing code at line 5? Instead, command words are instructions that say clearly what a candidate must do. So a statement like, write down the code needed to complete line 5 is the correct way to answer that question, or to ask that question.
So I remember when I was first a writer and somebody pointed out the fact that there's no question marks in the question paper. You never use one when you're writing a question in the question paper, which just seems bizarre, but it's true.
Yeah, absolutely. Question writers must always give candidates an instruction, a categorically clear instruction that says what action is needed. And that's where the command words come in. So command words in question papers are the verbs that instruct the candidate to do something. And the command words indicate what it is the candidates need to do in order to demonstrate their knowledge and understanding.
So here is a list of 8 common command words that after a lot of, can we call it discussion? Is it debate? Is it argument? We as a tutor team agreed were frequently used by SQA. So you can have a few minutes just to have a look at those before we crack on with our next interactive activity.
Can I just mention if anyone's having an issue seeing what Morag's presenting, you might need to join presenter again. Because there's some cursors flying about the place. So if you join presentation again, you might be able to see it.
Okay then, so far, I think that's been a useful 15 minutes spent or so because it sets groundwork for what's coming up. hopefully everyone has a chance to think about the purpose of SQ assessments and also think about the information that's actually already provided in the course specifications about the skills that are assessed.
We also spent a wee bit of time thinking about the mixture of straightforward kind of C mark questions and then the more challenging A type questions that are designed to stretch different candidates.
Yeah, and lastly, we've been looking at command words used to give instruction to candidates.
Right, we've done enough talking for now, so we're going to let people do something else that's kind of interactive.
And this is the frame that we're using. So here you can see, you can't quite see the activities yet because we're keeping them hidden in case you got too excited and had a wee look. So there's two different voting systems going to be used here. On the left are what we're calling polling grids with command words listed in separate buttons. There you go. And at some point, you'll probably want to zoom in to see that. But it's the 8 large command words are all listed in separate buttons over on the left. The first thing that we want you to do in a little moment, not yet, is think about those 8 command words and your own learners. And which command words do they find the most challenging? So yeah, it's thinking about that, reflecting on your own classes. What's the most challenging of the command words for your candidates? And which do they find the easiest? So on those votes, basically once we start the poll, to click, all you need to do is click once on the command word that you want to vote for and then click submit. The one thing we would plead with you here is once we start the poll, that sort of the button at the bottom that says start poll will change and say end poll for all. Please do not click that one. So yeah,
that's the button that does what it says on the tin and it ends the poll for everybody. So please do not end the poll for all. All you need to do is click the most relevant command word and then submit. The poll will then be grayed out, but you'll still be able to see what others people are doing until we end it. Well, until one of the tutors ends it. So further to the right, we've got all the command words again. This time we want you to decide how these words would fit into Bloom's taxonomy. Yep, that one. Each level of the taxonomy has been color coded, and that matches the color of the dots in the voting boxes underneath.
Yeah, there's no difference between the voting boxes. There's just 2, because I know there's lots of people about, so there's just duplicates. Yeah, consider each of the command words, the big one in the white boxes, in turn, and think about which level of the taxonomy is the best match. Click on a dot of the colour matching the Bloom's level in the Bloom's taxonomy pyramid, and drag the dot over the command word. Just release it.
So we'll give you about 5 minutes to do your poll and put your coloured dots on the appropriate command word.
Yeah, and if you need to, you should be able to zoom in and out using your mouse. And of course, that might mean that you come out of the presentation, but you can rejoin the presentation once you're finished. Once we start the voting, simply click the command word that your learners find easiest. In the second poll grid, the one they find the most difficult, and then grab a dot and some people already started it. I like that. And vote for the others, but please don't end poll.
Just the lift music again.
Yes, this is the lift music. Yeah.
This is going to be a long 5 minutes of me just going do in the background.
Well, maybe we won't need 5 minutes because our participants they're quick on the draw here.
I know. I love all the new names. Visiting Sculptor, Visiting Trailblazer. We didn't have that last year, did we?
We had some, but I think that's when people are watching it in the
meeting, in the Google chat.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think so, yeah. Evaluate's looking pretty secure.
I know everyone else is going to be too scared to put a dot other than green now, though. That's what I always feel. I'm just like, nah, I'm just going to chuck a blue one in just for good measure.
Yeah.
There's a bit of controversy about right.
Yeah. Can't explain. Voting polls? Anyone voting in the voting polls? A few people are over there now. The state looks pretty done deal type thing, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, so we can't see the answers to the voting polls until you voted on them.
So we have to vote as well, do we?
I think so.
Oh, right, okay, right. Well, yes, so...
Nobody look at Morag's answers. I mean, everyone looks
just
at
think-
Morag's answers.
I'm just thinking here. Right, no. Okay, I'll go with that.
I dare you to go for one that's not right.
I see it. Okay, thanks, Kim.
How are we getting on? Do we think we're in a position to start wrapping up?
Possibly. There's still dots. There's still dots appearing.
Do you have the option to end poll, or do you need me to do it, Morag?
I can end it.
Right, okay, that's fine.
I can end it.
Don't push the button! Don't push the button!
My finger is on the button.
Is it safe to push the button?
I think so.
Will I go for it?
Do it.
Oh.
Oh, but I'm not. I can't do it, Kim.
You don't have the power. Well, I can't do it either.
I don't.
Who can do it?
What an anticlimax.
I don't know who's got the power.
I love that. You were so worried about who had the power. Please tell me
Yeah.
Colin doesn't have the power.
Whatever it is,
End
it's
it. We
no
can see
me.
the answers anyway. It's fine. We've got the answers. So.
We can see it. Yeah, we can see it. Okay, so will we go on?
Yes. So thank you for all your contributions. Hopefully you're at a stage of getting kind of more comfortable interacting with the Miro board.
Yeah, and it looks like the first poll. I've got cursors and I'm terrified to move anything because Kim told me to sit still. It looks like which command word do learners find the easiest? Looks like state. Yeah. And the ones they find most difficult, evaluate. Yeah. With a bit of some saying design, some saying so a wee bit more about what people are finding more difficult or what candidates find more difficult.
I'd say that's probably matches with my kind of expectations. But of course, it's just a kind of quick snapshot from the people who are here. But as a teacher, it's kind of interesting to keep that feedback in mind when you're thinking about your own classes.
Yeah, that's right, Colin. Being aware of what our learners find more difficult means that we can target those skills and command words in our teaching and revision. And that will definitely benefit them.
Absolutely. So the greater our understanding of the kind of question paper structure and the difficult bits that pupils find with certain command words means that you're able to better support them or scaffold them with their responses to the question paper.
Yep. Just before we finish topic one, let's have a quick look at Bloom's taxonomy and the correct classifications for this. So yeah, we've got a bit of debate about state we'll look pretty good on. Evaluate will look pretty good. Compare, analyze, okay. Yeah, but we've got, so let's go over to the next frame where we actually will go through them. Is Colin in the room?
So let's start with state. It's an example of remember, which is the lowest level of Bloom's.
Yeah, and it's just simple recall.
No, I'm still here.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm here. Yeah. It's all just recall of facts and basic concepts. The moving up one level of Bloom's, we come to understand, which is where we find both describe and explain. These are more demanding than state, but they are still fairly straightforward.
But let's just kind of pause here because candidates do find those command words pretty similar. So describe and an explain question.
I lost a little bit of you there, but I've got you again. Yeah, there's a fair bit of difference. Yeah, your voice disappeared on me, but there's a bit of difference between explain and describe. So although they both test understanding, a description is a factual statement with accurate and relevant details that demonstrates a candidate's understanding of a particular computing science term or concept. An explanation will usually contain similar factual information to a description, but it will be more detailed and should show a deeper understanding. So in an explanation, for example, candidates are expected to think about the underlying reasons why something has happened or provide an account of how something works. Think of it, an explanation as identifying cause and effect.
So with an explanation, it needs to kind of get under the kind of hood of what's going on and give reasons why something's happened. So candidates are often asked to explain why an error occurred or why a section of code isn't fit for purpose.
Yeah, that's right. But an explanation can also provide an outline that shows a candidate's understanding of how a piece of code works. I might be explain this code. And again, that's really common in computing science exams.
So descriptions are more straightforward, and all you need is just a clear statement of the facts of what's going on. So that helps to make things a bit more straightforward. So let's look again at our blooms. We're at apply, and we find the command words write, design, and draw. These are the questions that expect candidates to use their knowledge of computing science, content, and coding skills to solve a problem in some sort of new situation.
Yeah. While at the analyze level, we have command word compare. These questions are more demanding, are considered to be more demanding, and candidates are expected to make connections between concepts, highlighting similarities and differences between two or more items.
Then we get to the nice easy one. So evaluate is, unsurprisingly, evaluate, where candidates are expected to do is justify a statement or a decision that's what makes it one of the more kind of difficult skills.
Yeah. So looking at the command words that we had listed, the tutor team had listed, I think we've covered all 8 of them, Colin. But what about the 8 level of blooms? Is that not covered in NQ computing science exams?
Well, although there is a lot of creating, so there's lots of creating solutions and creating code, it's actually when the candidates are expected to apply their knowledge to a new situation, they don't have any control over these situations. In the exams and in the assignment, candidates just apply their skills to solve a problem that's been outlined to them.
All right, okay. So at the create level of blooms, candidates would be expected to produce a new or original work. And the first real opportunity to do that in computing science is in the project at advanced higher level.
That's it, exactly. So all exam questions and assignment tasks at N5 and at higher, they're so kind of tightly defined that candidates don't really have any sort of option to be creative. So that's all the kind of stuff about the SQA assessment rubric for the moment. Let's get a bit more practical and look at some of the kind of unseen assessment questions.
Yeah, and to take you through that, because you've heard enough of Colin and I,
Right.
the next part of the agenda, I'm going to pass you over to Kim and Andy.